Hello, I'm Nicholas Salome here at Wichita State University Physics. I run and lead the radiation detector lab that we do a lot of work with NASA, Department of Energy at Fermilab, CERN. And a couple of months ago, there was a great new article that came out that Betelgeuse might be ready to supernova explode in the next 10 to 20 years. And I found that exciting, and I made a post about it because the amount of radiation that would come from such an event, from neutrinos, and the fact that it would be a massive event that would be spectacular, would be of interest to anyone who's following my YouTube channel here. And although that article was encouraging and interesting, I just learned it might be exaggerated. And I wanted to clear that up because a counter article was just published, and the counter article is based on history that's been recorded. The history that's been recorded is that we have writings of going back ancient times, Hebrew text, India, Chinese text, and they've actually dug through a lot of the data, and that they found that in 4000 BC, Betelgeuse is actually described not at all among the red stars like it is today, but is described as a blue star or a white star, because when you have a star that's blue, it actually appears very bright and white. So it's sort of like Sirius in the night sky, which is the brightest star. And at the time of the Romans, Betelgeuse was described to be yellow and orange. And by today's standards, we certainly call Betelgeuse a very red star, like Antares. And so here's a nice plot. It's using historical data that says that Betelgeuse, over recorded history of time, not one person's lifetime, but of course, written civilization here on the planet Earth, has actually been able to watch Betelgeuse change colors over the last 6,000 years, going from a star very similar to Sirius, which is the dog star, close to Orion, but down in the bottom right of the Orion. And but Betelgeuse is in the top left shoulder of Orion, and it was a very blue, very white star. It transitioned through by Roman written times, with the historian Hyginus having described it as a yellow-orange star, and they didn't even put it in with the category of other stars. So what does that mean about the chances of Betelgeuse going supernova? Well, it would be great to see a fantastic supernova. The last supernova you could see during the day occurred in the 1050s, when the Crab Nebula exploded, and they saw it for several months during the day, and it lit up the night sky and was very bright. But what this is saying is that a star that's just gone from being a blue star, and then 6,000 years later, a red star, and what does that transition mean? That transition means the star is going from burning hydrogen to burning almost purely helium. And the outer atmosphere expands dramatically. When our star does this, the surface of our sun, when it becomes a red giant, will be beyond the orbit of Mars. Of course, it'll swallow up Mercury, Venus, the Earth, and Mars as well. But that process of a star starting to turn on and burn helium is going to last over 100,000 years. And since it's just occurred in historical records over the last 6,000 years, it means that really that article that says Betelgeuse is going to supernova in the next 10 to 20 years is probably very misleading. And they're using models that are not consistent with the fact that Betelgeuse has just become a star. Now, Betelgeuse was never at the distance to scare us. It would definitely be a radiation event on Earth, but it wouldn't be a deadly mass extinction event. For that to happen, a star that has to go supernova has to be within about 50 or 60 light years. And although Betelgeuse is maybe 300 to 600 light years away, because it's a red giant, and we don't really understand its size. It has a big error bar on how far away it is. And keep in mind that when the Crab Nebula exploded in 1054, that was actually 6,050 light years away. So anyway, the answer from a radiation point of view is that the chances of Betelgeuse going supernova now with this new historical data is practically zero in the next couple hundred, or actually next 100,000 years. And I think this is a great example of how historical records of astronomy could actually see stars changing over the course of written history. There's one other star that has changed over the course of written history, Wenzel's star, which has gone from something that's described both orange to now very red, but it's much further away and it isn't in danger at all. It won't be a radiation event like Betelgeuse would be if it was it wouldn't be a deadly radiation event, but it would definitely be an observable radiation event. So there's really no chance that we would have to worry about Betelgeuse. And I just wanted to clarify that because I read a post that it was possible in the next 10 to 20 years for Betelgeuse, and that now seems to be completely wrong based on historical data that 6,000 years ago Betelgeuse was a blue star, and it's just recently turned red since it was an orange star at the time of the Romans writing, historical Romans writing about the various stars. So I just wanted to clarify that. So it's exciting. Thank you. Bye.